Here's to the crazy ones, the rebels, the troublemakers, the ones who see things differently. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
Hello and welcome to the Crazy Ones. I'm Daniel and I'll be your host for now. Hopefully later we're going to be getting some kind of a woman, hopefully, co-hosting with me. I'll have someone to talk to. She'll probably be overseas because most of the people I know are overseas. Americans, Yanks, and the like. But for now, for this first episode, I'm delving in to the world of podcasting and completely alone, completely without, I just thought of the name 10 minutes ago. And that's because I'm weird, and hopefully most people on this show, anyone that I interview, will be weird in some way, will have some kind of they may even be freaks, they may have something wrong with their limbs, or, some kind of congenital disorder. I don't know. I don't even know what's going to happen on this thing. But, this one's just a free-for-all. No preparation. Just a little bit of something from Kentucky that I'm drinking here. I'm here in a room. I'm in a room in Brisbane, or near Brisbane, in Australia, where we broadcast this from. And I don't really even know what this is going to be about yet. We're still figuring that out. But, we may cover a variety of topics from anywhere from movies to, dreams and things that fascinate me in general. Current events, I don't know. It's going to be strange, whatever it is. And I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as we go as we go along. And if I've somehow managed to get this on iTunes and you've come across it, I'm very sorry. I'm new to this medium. I don't know really how to be interesting for an hour or half an hour or however the fuck long this goes for. But, you're going to have to bear with me. This may get better. This may be amazing at some point. Who the hell knows? But once I get someone to talk to, I got a co-host happening, it could be good. So, hang in there, just kind of skip through this episode and wait and bide your time, and then one day click on this podcast and it will be fucking amazing. All right? Trust me on this, because it will get better. I almost guarantee it. Almost. Anyway, we're going to start with dreams. Dreams have always fascinated me. It's something I like to talk about, something I like to ponder, because dreams, they're beyond your control. You can't really control what you dream unless you're especially skilled, and I'm not one of those people. And I remember the weird ones because they stick out. And here's just a few that I've had lately. This is a very strange one here. I was balancing bulls on my shoulders that, I walked through the desert with them on my shoulders for God knows what reason. They turned into goats along the way for another unexplained reason. And but I walked them back. I had a beer in one hand. I was drinking that. And I walked them into a conservative courtroom in front of a judge. And I told him to go fuck himself. And then I woke up. Now, dream analysts, the world over, I'm sure they're trying to find reasons and sort of meanings, mystical things, something that will help me with my life to come out of that dream. I don't know what it means. It may mean nothing at all, but that was that dream. And the most recent one. A girl was bitten by a scorpion that I'd squashed. As soon as it bit her, I squashed it in a panic and called the doctor. And the doctor came and then proceeded to solemnly mummify her in a kind of paper mache post-mortem. And I don't even know if she was dead yet, but it appeared that she was dead, and they slowly paper mached her body in this kind of way. And that was very strange. I woke up and I thought, oh, there's I've had a little bit much peyote the night before. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, that was the dreams for the week, and I don't know what to talk about on this here, the first podcast. It's very hard when you're by yourself, and I'm very neurotic, so you're going to hear a lot of excuses and a lot of, I mean, almost every podcast I'm probably going to be, just sitting here and writhing over why, and apologizing, mostly just apologizing. Sorry that I'm not really making you listen to this, but in a way I'm forcing you to, by the sheer fact that it is there. You're wondering, is there going to be some substance? And I'm sorry, no, there's not going to be. Not for a very long time. And that's okay though. We can live with that. We can survive. We will go on. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about me. I'm actually turning 30 today. I'm celebrating my 30th birthday by sitting here with you doing this podcast. And if that gives you any indication of the amount of friends I have or anything like that, I don't know. I probably should be out living it up or doing something. But instead I'm here with you because that's how much I care. And yeah, that's my excuse anyway. And turning 30, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. Sort of. I mean, it's as big a deal as you make it, really. But in my mind, this is the only birthday that's really got to me. The 30th. Because you're out of your 20s. You're supposed to have done something with your life. I mean, you're supposed to have at least begun something. And, most of my friends have started families, done things. I've done nothing. I've been content. Well, not content at all, but I've done nothing. And I struggle with that. I think 30 is a bit old. I should have done something by now. I've kind of the things I enjoy. I've veered away. I've been too neurotic to, if I'm good at something, for example, I won't even admit that to myself, that I'm good at that thing. Even if people tell me you're really good at this, no, I'm not. I don't think you know what you're talking about. I'll disagree. So, I don't know. It's a confidence issue, I think. And I don't know. I'm not going to delve too deeply into my own neuroses. Neuroses? How do you say that word? I don't know. Yeah, there's not much to say about me, really. I've, I went through the school system. I left it. I worked a million crappy jobs. I, left one day on a crazy journey. And, was accused of being a terrorist. We'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point. And I've had an eventful life. It's just been so far very constrained. And I don't know. You'll learn more about me if you keep listening, I'm sure. I know I've always felt like, a tortured artist. I mean, growing up, I'm sure I was kind of a tortured artist, only without the talent, really, or even the art. And I mostly sort of focused on the tortured part of the equation, and just sat there being tortured, basically, just without any talent or art. So that was most of my childhood. I'm sexually frustrated individual. Mostly in the sense that I'm frustrated due to the fact that I'm not getting any sex. That would be that would be a rather large part of it. And I don't know what else you want to know, really. One day I may just go insane and build a home for wayward animals or something. like animals who have sort of lost their way in the world, and just take care of them, build a little refuge in the woods, and tend to the squirrels and the magpies and whatever the fuck is out there. I don't know. I may yet do that and live a homeless life. I've thought about that. I've walked around and thought, one day it's inevitable. I'm going to end up living in my car, or if that dies, it'll just become a domicile, and and I'll live in it wherever, and just collect parking tickets for 20 years and eat not my own refuse, but certainly other people's. No, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But okay, forget that. I may end up in a car at some point living. I've lived in a car before. I know what it's like. But I'm not sure how things are going to end up. And I mean, neither should any of us be. I mean, we don't know what tomorrow may bring. Tomorrow may bring 3 listeners to this podcast, and that would be more than we have right now, which is 0. A big fat 0. I'm talking to the air. I'm literally talking to nobody at the moment, which is a little bit insane. Once I have actual listeners, I'll feel compelled to produce quality. But until that time comes, you're going to deal with a whole load of shite. And that's just the way it is. Anyway, we've done a good 12 minutes. I'm going to try and get half an hour in for the first lot. And this is definitely going to be easier with a co-host. Someone to talk and discuss issues of the world, say inappropriate things. I mean, it'll be great. A lot of friends of mine, like I say, turning 30. I'm unmarried. There's a good reason for that. I'm an idiot. But yeah, I'm certainly not in demand in the female world. They don't, they don't sort of look kindly upon, whatever. I'm aware of my social issues, and I'm aware of most of the problems that I have physically. But I don't know. For whatever reason, I'm not popular in the female world, and that's cool. That's got to happen. That's sort of part of life, and that's fine. I've had a couple of relationships, but they've all crashed and burned. And again, that's fine. I've had the heart broken. It's been molded into a mushy mesh of shite and pain, and it's been sort of cruelly burned, and that's left me in a place of a hardened shell of it. This is getting a bit dark now, but anyway, I've dealt with that fact that I'm going to be cold and alone forever, and that's fine. And I'm totally fine with that. You can tell by the tone of my voice how fine I am with that. Okay? So don't question me on it. But yeah, a lot of my friends are, they're having babies. They're just popping out babies with their wives are popping them out. And, they're coming around to show me the baby. And, they're taking photos of their babies. And as they grow up, they're taking more photos and they're putting them on Facebook. We can all see the wonderment of the baby. And that's fine. I mean, if it was my baby, I'd be filled with wonderment too. But there comes a certain point where you just think, yeah, it's kind of cute, but it's going to grow up, Like something to new mothers. I'm always thinking about the new mothers. And they forget certain things. And if I were to talk to all of the new mothers out there, I would say, remember, no matter how cute your 2-year-old son appears to be now, one day at some point, he will almost certainly end up hunched over a keyboard somewhere masturbating. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And, you can't avoid that. Look down at your little young son's cute little baby face, smiling up at you, and just remember that fact. He's going to be hunched over a keyboard masturbating. And it will happen at some point. And that is it's just a sad part of life. Knowing that that's going to happen. It's inevitable. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just not the thought you want to have when you're staring down at your wonderful child. But I've always thought about that. Anyway, maybe I'm weird. I don't know. I'm surrounded at the moment with a lot of passive-aggressive people. Nobody really says what they mean anymore. And I'd rather, aggressive to passive-aggressive. Because a passive-aggressive, when you really think about it, is just like kind of a silent asshole. If you've got a problem with me, get in my face. Just fucking say something. Just get right out there and say, screw you, man. This is my problem. I don't like that kind of quiet, festering. Those people really scare me because they hold it all in. One day they burst, and they will burst like a pimple, and they will destroy everything in their path like a postal worker, a US postal worker. But yeah, that's happening a lot with these people on Facebook. They're the posting of babies. It's very depressing for someone unmarried who, kind of always wanted a family. I did. I wanted a family, and I thought, some part of me thought, maybe I'll be married by 25, and I'll be thinking about a family. I'll have a decent job. I'll have all these things. Whereas, that didn't really pan out. Nothing panned out. I've got a shitty job. I read water meters. I read the little numbers on the water meters. One of the most hated people. Even when I come along, people scowl at me. And, oh God, it's that time again. I'm getting charged. I get a lot of hatred heaped upon me. No appreciation for what I do. I produce an accurate reading of your water meter. And, I do it with a smile. Well, not usually. I'm looking pretty fed up, to be honest. But, when people look at me, I'm certainly smiling. I'm fake smiling. I'm putting in the effort. And yet I'm hated. I'm one of the most hated individuals to be seen coming down your street. But, it's the only job I can get right now that pays the bills. It's something. But yet these baby posters, they persist and they annoy me. I do love all your children in my own way. Not in a perverted way. No, no, God, no. I love them in the sense that I love that you love them, and I love that you post things on the internet and pictures and such, and it shows your sort of love for your kids, and I love that. And I look at them and I think, oh, cute little baby. It's great. It's really good. It's a good thing. I don't know. Facebook is a weird animal. I think Facebook has, in a lot of ways, it's changed everything. It's changed the way we communicate with people. It's changed. I think it's replaced meaningful connection and communication with frequent communication. So we're just basically telling people every time we take a shit, or what we're doing, or just random quotes, just bullshit we don't need to put out there and the whole world needs to know. But there are good things about it. We connect with people that we otherwise would just ignore. So it keeps us in touch with acquaintances we'd rather forget. And it does some good, but on the whole it is kind of evil. I don't know if it's a good thing. I'm still, I struggle with the whole idea of Facebook every day. It is a concern. Like, you don't even know where you stand most of the time on Facebook. I knew a guy on Facebook once. Good friend of mine, actually. I never met the guy, though. I just knew him on there. I knew him from YouTube or something. Always had nice things to say. Then one day we met up. We actually met in real life. He was the most sarcastic fucking guy I ever met. And I didn't read that from the tone of his... I completely failed to read the sarcasm in everything that he had said. A horrible guy. No, just I thought he was a good friend, but you know, completely misinterpret. He just had a bad use of emoticons. He never used them, and I had no idea that the tone of everything he was saying was completely off the wall. And that does happen. That's Facebook. And Twitter, Twitter I kind of use for talking to celebrities and annoying people, trying to get responses out of people I admire. I have a secret Twitter account, I have to admit, where I just annoy people. I annoy them. That's an inevitable result of what I do. But I try and get a response out of people. It's really cool. I like Twitter for that reason. I don't like it for communicating with normal people, but for communicating with celebrities, sure. It's really cool. Sometimes I get up in the morning and send Robert Patrick a message, sends me something back. It's amazing. It's a good medium. Yeah, but getting older, I think about that now. I'm 30. I'm thinking about age. I'm thinking about mortality. I know it's a bit soon for that, but I was kind of thinking about my own mortality at the age of 12. So at the age of 30, the equivalent for me, 30 is kind of what people at the age of 90 are, thinking about mortality. So it's sped forward for me because I've already been through all this mortality stuff. When I was a kid, I thought I was going to die at the age of 12 because I was a very anxious young lad. Yeah, I wasn't really... I didn't expect to live to 20. I don't know why. I always thought I'd get some horrible disease. I saw some horrible sort of... I don't know. I watched a lot of TV when I was little. I saw all the bad things in the world, and I never thought I would survive them. I thought the probability of me living to 20 didn't seem too great. But here I am at 30, and, getting older is basically like a gradual nosedive into not giving a fuck. That's why old people are, embarrassing. They just don't give a shit, They simply no longer care if they embarrass themselves or others. And when you were like 90 and shitting yourself in public, only then I think are you truly free. You're like, you just have no inhibitions anymore. You're old, who gives a shit, And there must be a freedom in that. I'm really hoping there's a freedom in that because that's where we're all headed if we survive that long. Yeah, mortality. I think about it. I actually think about my own death probably every day. At least twice a day, I think about my own death. And I don't know if that's normal. I just wonder how it's going to happen. Is it going to be some kind of cancer? Is it going to be like a horrific car accident? Or something very painful, a plane crash. I'm always worried about plane crashes when I'm flying in planes. I hope it's something quick and unexpected, and it happens during my sleep. I think that's the best you can hope for, really. I don't even want to know about my own death happening, but then there's kind of I think knowing about it would make it worse, for sure. But yeah, I think about death a lot. I don't know how often people do think about their own death, but I'd like to know if you want to let us know. Just the crazyonescast@gmail.com. Just write in, say hi. I say us. It's really just me at the moment. I'll be reading your emails, but like I say, I'm going to get a co-host in, and that's cool. Yeah. I think people focused on death like me are often focused on the past, living in the past. It's never a good thing to live in the past. You need to get out of that way of thinking. I'm still doing it. You don't want to stare too long in the past. It'll only fuck up your future. And that's very true. But I still tend to look to the past because the only good times I've ever had lie within that structure. And there's not many of them, but I go back there and I visit mentally. We shouldn't do that. We should look forward and try and make new memories and new moments and grow or something. I don't know. I don't know the answer. I've always been very clueless as to sort of the nature of reality, but that's a bit heavy for a Sunday night. So I'm not going to go there. You know, I find in life I just need one thing. I need one thing to hang on to, if that's a podcast or someone that, you know, I like to talk to, or I don't know. I need one thing in life. That's all I need. It just keeps me going. It's just a glimmer. I can function for months on a glimmer. I just need one thing. And when I don't have anything, I get very, you know, I'm grasping at straws, and it's a horrible time. I'm sure many of you can relate. If you're still listening now, you're very committed. I think you may actually become a listener, and I hope you do, because definitely there's going to be some organization. I'm really just yabbering now, drinking down some, you know, bullet bourbon at the moment from Kentucky, and just yabbering on. It'll get better. Just trust me on that. This is the worst it's going to be, and if you even kind of enjoyed this or actually stayed to the end, then there's going to be something better than this coming. All right? So don't panic, don't fret. I won't always be talking about death. And with death, though, I think about my own heartbeat. Sometimes I just lay awake. I lay awake at night listening to my own heartbeat. I'm not really sure why I do that. I do that now and again. And, you know, I worked out I'm 30 now, and roughly in my life, sort of accounting for the panic attacks as well, which speed up the heart. My heart has beat approximately 1.2 billion times. It's crazy to think that there are men on this planet that have made more dollars than those heartbeats. And when you've made more dollars than heartbeats, you must have stepped on a lot of people along the way, or been a criminal, because I guess you could have had a good idea and it took off. I mean, there are ways, but most of the time there must be, along the way, you must have done some things that were pretty dark to get that money. And I don't know how people make that kind of money. I have a very good view of money. I think I'm not consumed with greed. I'm not trying to rip people off. And I just, you know, I don't like to even take people's money. Even when I do a job, you know, I just don't like money. I don't like that I'm dependent on it. I don't like that I'm a slave to it. And I don't like that I need it. It's just currency. I hate it. I hate that it's actually there. I just want to do what I want to do. I'm not even sure what that is. Anyway, that's about all we've got for today. I've yabbered on long enough. This is our kind of just a rough episode because, you know, there's a lot of noise this mic is picking up. My chair moving, me slurping at my alcohol, my iPhone clicking open shutters. I check my messages. There's a lot going on, and I'm sorry for that. I apologize. I apologize for the content. I apologize for the sound of my voice. And I don't know, I apologize for really everything up to this point. And you're going to be getting and hearing a lot of apologies from me if you continue to listen. And most of the time you listen to me, I'm going to be drunk. So as long as you accept those terms and continue listening, I really appreciate it. Yeah, no obligation to keep listening. None at all. Anyway, we'll see you next time, and hopefully I'll have a co-host soon, and we can actually talk about deep-seated issues, and we could actually find out together as a community what this podcast is going to be about. Yeah, I hope that you are well and your week is a pleasant one. Have a good day, people. Until next time.
Here's to the crazy ones. The rebels. The troublemakers. The ones who see things differently. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.